afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cornwall Asparagus Festival here at the Penventon Hotel. Our second demonstration of the day is with Joe Lado de Veza from Penventon Park Hotel.
Hello.
Yes, thank you. We would like some encouragement from you. I know it's home ground for Joe, but still it's very nice to know that you're sitting out there and that you're watching him with every single bone of interest. Yep, that's the idea, isn't it, Joe?
Absolutely.
But Joe, as I say, is from the Penventon Hotel, and so it's quite nice for you to be here, standing behind.
It is. It's just like home from home.
Absolutely, home from home. And again, we chatted to you earlier, but you are another person who very much enjoys asparagus and looks forward to the season.
Absolutely. I love it. I love the Cornish asparagus, which John said is the best, and it is. And I'm just going to do a little simple dish with it. So
tell us about the dish that you're going to create today.
It's very simple. Just going to cook some asparagus in just some boiling salted water, toss it in some olive oil, and I'm going to cook some chorizo, which is going to go with it, and a poached egg, and that's it.
Lovely. So there you go, a very simple dish that you'll certainly be able to recreate at home. If you've picked up one of the recipe sheets, it's on there as well, isn't it, Joe?
It is, yeah.
Now,
can
you say...
plug the eggs?
Yeah, no, hang on a second. I want you to say chorizo again, because you just say it in such a lovely way.
Chorizo.
There you go. And the reason why Joe says it in this lovely way is because of the Spanish roots.
I'm Spanish. I was born in Galicia, which is northwest Spain, and we eat a lot of chorizo there, and the food there is fantastic. Well, just like the fish is fantastic there, just like the Cornish fish, which is fantastic. So, yes, I'm just going to...
So we should be saying, hola, buenos dias. That's it for Spanish for me, I'm afraid.
Very good.
Gracias. That's it, wasn't it?
De nada.
Yeah, right. Well done. Anyway, yes, less of the Spanish lesson, more on to cooking. Now, you're going to be cooking with duck eggs.
I am, yes. Not just that, we've got the lovely Cornish asparagus that's been sold by Mr. and Mrs. Keeler. We've also got some fantastic duck eggs sold by Roger from Cornish Duck. Roger? Hello, there he is, over there. So we've got some fantastic duck eggs, which if you want to try the dish later, you can purchase them just over there.
Why are you using duck eggs for this recipe?
It goes well, to be honest with you. It just goes well with the, it's quite rich anyway, but it does go quite well with this asparagus.
And what are the differences then between duck and chicken eggs?
There is a big difference, but I like the richness in the duck egg, to be honest with you, and I just feel it goes quite well with this and with the chorizo as well. So.
Okay, so you're going to be poaching an egg a little later on, but what's the first thing that you need to do in preparation for this recipe?
I'm going to blanch the asparagus in a minute. I'm just going to be slightly under, so I'm going to finish it off in the pan in a little bit. But I'm going to cook the chorizo as well, so I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the pan. I'm also going to cut the chorizo down, otherwise it's quite big, so otherwise I'll have to put it in the oven for about 8-9 minutes. So I'm just going to cut it down and cook it in the pan. So
Joe, how much of an influence does Spain have on your style of cooking?
Well, I was born there. I've eaten Spanish food since I was a child. My mum and my dad always cooked Spanish food over in England. They lived in this country for 35 years. They've gone back to Spain now. But I try to go back as often as I can because I just very, very influenced by it, to be honest with you. So I love it. And
where do you get these directly from Spain then, if you're using it in your cooking?
Yeah, these are direct from Spain. Yeah. So, but they're fantastic quality. But if you'd like to purchase some today, we could sort you some out. So
you have a secret supply, do you?
I have, yes. So I'm just going to half.
Can you see that in the mirror? You can. Brilliant. Okay, so that lovely orangey colour there of the chorizo. That's
it. Fantastic. Look at you.
Fluent, aren't I?
Right, so the water's boiling for the asparagus, so I'm just going to...
That looks like Cornish sea salt, which is also available.
It's available in the little store over there.
So just a couple of pinches of salt going into the water there.
So I'm going to put the asparagus in a second in there. But I'm also going to be putting another pan on to poach my egg in a second. I'm going to take some of that water out in a minute. Just wash my hands.
Joe, when you are catering for people here at the hotel, how adventurous are we now in our eating habits?
I think people are really willing to try different things as well, which is great. I mean, it's great for me because I like to try to put different things on the menu, but I also like to just keep it as simple as possible because I think good ingredients speak for themselves. So if it's a good quality like asparagus, I don't think it should be messed about too much, and just with fantastic duck egg, fantastic chorizo, fantastic lizard leaves, which are local as well. So just simple ingredients, really, and done well, which I think is important.
We are so lucky, aren't we, in Cornwall, to have these wonderful ingredients on our doorstep. And there's been quite an explosion in this, hasn't there, in recent years?
There has, yeah. I mean, and absolutely it should be, really, because the ingredients in Cornwall are fantastic. You know, I think we're very lucky. I think we forget how good they are. I don't think we do forget. I think we need to be reminded sometimes, I think, how great they are. So I'm going to just pop that on, just cook it gently and just turn it down a little bit.
And you're going to get some oils from the chorizo anyway, aren't
That's right, yeah. So I'm just going to let that cook away slowly. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to put the asparagus in. So what I'm going to do with the asparagus, it should take about 3.5 minutes, because I still want it to be quite firm, because I'm going to finish it off in the pan in a little while with all the juices from the chorizo as well. And I'm going to poach the duck egg in a little while as well.
And as we said, it is all about asparagus today, and I noticed that you have put together an asparagus plate for people to try. So if you wanted to buy that at the back of the room, it's £3.50, and I think there's asparagus with Parma ham and a crab and asparagus tart. It looks lovely. So you can just have tasters should you want to try them a little later on.
Absolutely. Right, so my asparagus is cooking.
And as you say, you don't want to cook that for very long, do you? You want a crunch in it.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm going to feel the end. I mean, it's only been in there for about a minute, so it needs a little bit longer.
Now, there are asparagus steamers. You can buy these sort of metal containers, can't you, that put asparagus in, head down, or spears up.
Yep.
Do you need to use those or not? You can just. Notice you've just thrown the asparagus into the boiling water. You don't bother with the steamer type things.
Personally, I don't know. Sorry. Is it possible?
No, you don't have to apologise to me, but kitchen utensil people might be a bit upset. You know, you're out of business. No, it just proves that actually there are all sorts of gadgets that are available in the kitchen, but not all of them are necessary, really, are they?
Personally, I don't think so, but. Yeah, some are, some are not. I think it depends what works for yourselves, really, I think. So, chorizo's starting to brown off a little bit. So I just want to cook that through. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit. So I'm going to be popping the asparagus into those juices later, just to give it a little bit more flavour as well. Well, flavour from the chorizo. Sorry, this dish is so simple.
No, it's lovely. It means that we can all
but I think it's like
follow your example and perhaps try this ourselves, which is great.
I think that's
there we go.
Thing
There's
as well.
Some water for you.
Just having the ingredients, fantastic that we've got to.
And I think it also shows just how simple you can be with asparagus. You don't need to be complicated in the way that you prepare it or use it in a dish.
Absolutely. So, just about there now, so I'm going to just pop them out. Just going to whack that on there. That's for my poaching. Just going to empty these out. Sure, shouldn't do that. Got a better idea.
There we go. So the asparagus didn't take long at all for how you wanted it.
Absolutely, and it's going to be finished off in the pan in a sec as well. with all the flavour from the chorizo.
Yeah, which has got a little bit of a brown colour on it now. It's really sort of
Just coming through, yeah.
looking good. And
So
then
just going to whack that on. The lid on the water. Just going to bring that to the boil. Then I'm going to add a little bit of white wine vinegar, just for my poaching, so that keeps the egg together when I poach the egg. So
I always think it's a bit of an art poaching an egg, and to do it in front of this audience is quite a challenge, isn't it?
It's
so like generation game, isn't
tricky.
it? But so obviously you are very experienced in it, Joe. But is there a perfect time for a poached egg?
Well, I check it all the time, to be honest with you. I think probably about 2.5 minutes to about 2 minutes.
Okay, so you've got to watch the egg. That is,
yes.
yes.
I hope I don't mess this up.
It's all right. It's okay. We're all friends with you, and you know they're a friendly bunch, really.
Right. So that I'm just going to turn down a little bit more.
Do duck eggs take longer than?
They do, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I want it quite soft as well. I don't want to.
Yeah, you've got to have the white firm.
Absolutely.
And then a soft yolk, haven't you?
Yeah.
So this is it. So you're going to put the asparagus into that pan in a minute, but
yep. I'm just going to
keeping an eye on the poached egg for you. I really don't want it to, you know, go over.
Should we have a look?
It's in there. Look at that.
Oh, look, that's not
too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad, is it?
Right, so.
Are you washing the pan later?
Pardon?
Are you washing the pan later?
I'm not, no. I've got somebody else to do that. Right, so I'm going to turn that down a little bit there.
But is it important? I was going to say, is it important to make sure that it's boiling all the time? And that is one of the secrets.
Should be simmering, yeah. There, but it's there you go, lovely.
Oh yeah, that's not bad, is it really? You know, anyone would think you're professional.
Give us luck, I think. So I'm just going to pop that there. So just going to
Wonderful.
Finish off the dish.
So shall I take that one off now? We don't need that anymore, do we?
Thank you.
It's okay.
So I'm just going to take the chorizo out. Just take some of the excess.
Again, just draining that.
Yep.
That looks lovely too, doesn't it?
It's pretty tasty.
It smells delicious.
How do you say it?
Chorizo.
That's it. Fantastic.
I know.
Right, so I'm just going to...
I'm sure I pull a sort of what I think is a Spanish face. Chorizo. When I'm saying that.
So I'm just going to whack the asparagus in there just for 10 seconds, just to toss it in the oils.
So it just takes on that flavour, that lovely flavour, doesn't it?
So there you go. That's all the lovely, well, I love it, it's fantastic.
Tell us a little bit more about chorizo. I mean, what it is, how it's made, and what grade. I mean, are there different grades?
There's different qualities. I mean, this is fantastic quality. This is direct from Spain, but it's just basically pork. It's pork with paprika, and it's just cured basically and just left, and it's fantastic. But it's there's different grades, like you said, and it's.
Can you eat it without cooking it?
This is cooking chorizo. You can actually get like the salami looking, and that's actually cooked, and just slice it and eat it like that. So I'm just going to whack a tiny bit of salt in it.
Assembly of the dish.
Which is pretty straightforward, really. So fantastic asparagus. The chorizo. I think I've been lucky with the egg, I think. Do you think?
Definitely.
Right?
You did very well there.
And then I'm just going to pop the poached egg just on the base. I've got some extra virgin olive oil in this little bottle, so I'm just going to a little bit over the top. And a tiny, tiny bit of balsamic reduction. It's just balsamic vinegar just being reduced.
It's almost like a syrup, doesn't it?
That's it, yeah. And that's it. I was going to use some of these, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to
I think that looks perfect. Don't you? Oh, wrong way.
Sorry.
There.
Right.
Joe, we've got to show off that dish after all that. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? And that just shows you how simple it can be. And there's a recipe sheet, and you can read it on there. But actually, seeing you put it together, Joe, thank you very much for that. Joe Lady
Thank you, Daphne. Cheers. Thank you.
Saint Screen Print Company Limited. We specialise in supplying bespoke, personalised clothing and associated products. Based in Falmouth, we work across a variety of clothing markets, including corporate clothing, workwear, hospitality and sports and leisure. We control the whole production printing process to offer our customers a short lead time, high quality alternative to our competitors. Call us on 01326 377 585 or find us at saints-screenprint.co.uk. Stevens Cornish Slate. Producing quality Cornish slate tableware by hand in Redruth in Cornwall. Add a touch of elegance and class to your restaurant table, hotel, shop or home. We specialise in making bespoke items for clients like Ben's Cornish Kitchen in Marazion, Portreath Bakery and the Falmouth Hotel. We can do the same for you. Shop online too at stevenscornishslate.co.uk. Stevens Cornish Slate, made in Cornwall with pride.
Welcome to Cooking in Cornwall again with me, Marion Simmons and Elaine Eade from Chuff's Bakery, and I'm from Portreath Bakers, top bakers.
Absolutely.
Busy
Females,
bees.
yeah.
As we all know, the summer's coming. It's beautiful weather here in Cornwall, and today I thought we'd make some lovely Cornish faring biscuits and then make them into a gatto, because everybody likes a bit of lemon and ginger over summertime, surely, Elaine, and some fresh cream. What do you think?
Absolutely. We've got a lovely fruit that we're growing in Cornwall now.
Yes. And then after that, we're going to make some delicious crab cakes. So today is all you need to do to make these faring biscuits. It's quite simple. So we'll just put some flour, some baking powder, some bicarbonate of soda, some ground ginger, got to have that, some cinnamon and some mixed spice. Smell that, Elaine, it's delicious, isn't it?
You put baking powder and bicarb of soda?
Yes, I did.
And that's because we really want them to sort of come up and then go back down again, get that lovely crazy...
Yeah, they get the crazy paving, don't they, like on the top. So
and it's also, it's because you've got ginger and so many spices in, you're not going to have that soapy taste?
No, that's horrible, isn't it? Sometimes I find that in things you do use baking powder, you get a bit of an aftertaste. So, but these, with a normal biscuit, they're really crisp and you break them and they're crunchy. With these, they're meant to be soft. And that's why it's ideal to make this gatto that I'm going to make with it. And it'll be a Cornish faring gatto with fresh cream. Doesn't look like that now, does it? But anyway, we'll put in the sugar. And that's just a brown sugar, a nice dark brown sugar. And there's me with my hands again. But you'll have to do it like this at home as well.
Yeah,
so,
all rubbing in method.
Yeah, that's right. So we're rubbing all the dry ingredients together. And the only other thing we're going to have that's liquid in this is going to be the golden syrup. Now that needs to be warm, Elaine. Is that one warm, or do you want to give it a little...
I'll just give it a little boost.
A little boost. Now you can pop that in your microwave, just not even a minute, because the sugar gets really hot quickly. So we don't want you to burn your fingers. And then that's butter, some nice Cornish butter. And just literally sieve that through like this. Now, they couldn't be simpler because we're nearly done on this. How cool's that? I like the decorating bit best. With all those lovely fruits.
It took 10 seconds, that's it.
Yeah.
And you've got lemon juice, remember?
Yeah, a little bit of your lemon juice and
bit
your
of
rind. Now, we've taken the rind off of this lemon. Now, a little bit of a tip with that. They're quite waxy. Some of the supermarkets, if you buy them there, they put a wax on them, and it's good to get that off. Now, you can give them a really good wash and then warm them up in your microwave and you'll get more juice from the lemon then. And then we've just put the zest. Can you hear that fizzing? Did you hear that?
No.
You'll hear a slight fizzing noise with that. And that's the bicarb and the liquid and everything together. Now that's what the crumb stage should look like, look. And that's perfect now. So if I ever talk about a crumb, that's what it looks like. Now the only thing to bind this is this warm golden syrup, and look how liquid it is. Now if you're taking that out of a tin or a jar, the tip is to get yourself a hot jug of water, dip your spoon in, and then take it out that way, and it won't stick to your spoon. So, and look, go round from the edges, and then that's it. Oh, it feels nice already.
Marion, are we going to roll these out, or are we going to make balls?
We're going to make balls with these, Elaine, and that's going to be great. The thing is, they melt in the oven, don't they?
They just spread out.
Yeah.
I smell that. It's absolutely gorgeous. All those spices and herbs. Not herbs, spices.
Spices.
Yeah, lovely.
We'll be using herbs in our crab cakes.
Later on.
I'm just going to put, and you might find this easier as well. If the bowls slip in when you're mixing ever, just get yourself a damp tea towel, put it underneath, and you'll find it stops it slipping all over the place. There you are. All right, and you see, look, it's almost like a paste. You see that? Can you smell that?
It's lovely.
Gorgeous smell.
Shame you can't film the smell, really. Be able to put it over the TV.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm sure
they'll never do that.
They'll manage it one day.
They'll manage it. Do you make fairings in your shop?
No, we don't.
No, we don't either, really. I thought I'd just make them because we might do after today, mightn't we? So, and you feel it's quite a sticky dough still. Look. And that's all there is to it. That's made. Can you believe that? So as you can imagine, you can really impress your friends with these. And literally a little ball like this, size of a walnut, in a shell for Christmas, yeah, about that size. And make sure you leave a good space between them because they spread.
Shall I carry on with this
now?
now?
Yeah, join in, look.
Yeah, it's quite cold. You think it might have been quite warm, but not at all.
Yeah.
Quite a cold mixture.
And it's not as sticky as you think,
No,
is it?
no.
You think it's going to be a lot more sticky than that, but it isn't. So.
Why are they called fairies, Lauren? Do you know?
Yeah, because years and years ago, what used to happen in Cornwall, they used to have the fair, and these biscuits were the fairing biscuits. They'd take them along to the fairs, and they'd have fairing biscuits. So that's where the ginger fairings comes from. And I don't know about you, I love ginger. You could take out, if you wanted to make these a bit more special, like Christmas time, birthdays, parties, christenings, what you could do is instead of using that the ground ginger, you can use fresh ginger, and you buy it in jars, which is and it's got like a syrup on it. But if you turn it, just take it out and drain it, chop it all up, and then you'll find that you'll have chunks of ginger, or you could do half and half. But keep the other spices in as well.
What about crystallised ginger? I usually, if I do a ginger cake,
Yeah.
I use crystallised ginger in that.
Yeah, you could.
Love that.
I don't think that would be a problem. That would be good. But I'm gonna, when these are done, we're gonna stack them really high with fresh cream, and it'll go like into a cake.
And your cream, Marion.
I know, I've got to keep Cornwall busy with the clotted cream. And whipping cream and double cream, any cream, you can use that at home. So, it's good. How are we doing? Is the baker getting any today?
I think possibly,
And
yes.
don't worry if these are slightly different shapes, sizes, because like I said, we're going to stack them. So that's going to be fine to do that.
I think it's part of the beauty of it, isn't it? Because, like we said, every pasty all starts off the same, but everyone's different.
Yeah.
And if you're doing like Cornish fairies, that'll be the same, won't it?
Yeah,
You know,
they're all different.
slightly different. There you go, a little bit.
There you are.
Yeah.
You have that.
Don't
Right, and
waste
that's
any.
it's done. So we'll pop those in the oven, Elaine. Now, if only we had smell-o-vision now. It smells delicious in here. I know it's crazy to say, but this ginger, you can really smell it now. And my fairings are ready to come right out the oven now. Oh, look at that. You see the way they've cracked on the top there now? Now that's supposed to happen. What happens is all the acid, look Elaine, you can see these fairings. We've just now taken them off, and immediately I'm putting them on to cool down. We really want them to be chewy in the middle, crisp on the outside, and they are so delicious. What do you think of these? Elaine?
Oh, brilliant.
Look at those.
That's, you know, I asked you earlier on when we were making them about the amount of racing agents that you put in.
Oh yeah.
And that's supposed to happen when you And when they're cooking earlier on, they've got a nice smooth top, but there's nothing. There's a lot of sugar, and there's nothing flour-wise to hold them together, is there? And they fall down, and that is exactly what it should be like.
And if you just wait for a second, they'll start lifting pretty quickly off of here, off of your. And as soon as you can move them onto your wire, the better, because the air will go up in through underneath, cool them down as quickly as possible, because we want the middle to be soft and gooey, don't we? I mean, they're not dunkers. Don't dunk these in your tea, although some people would. I wouldn't, would you?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
No. But that's just right. I'm really happy with these. Yeah. So just whisk that away. And just gently, there we are.
We'll wait till they cool down a little bit and then we'll see what they taste like.
Smell absolutely delicious. Yeah, good. Right, and that's those ready for me to make a batter. The others will be out in a second. Right, you might be wondering what we're going to do with these biscuits. I bet you are, Elaine, as well, aren't you?
I am, but normally I just pick one up
and eat it. But look at that. Look at it. See how chewy that is? Do you see all this brown sugar bits in here? That's going to be all. Look at it. It's delicious. It's almost doughy, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still crunchy on the outside.
Have a taste.
You can have to. Oh.
Could you hear that crunch? I've whipped up some fresh cream, and it's just whipping cream again, the same as I used when I did the biscuits, Elaine. Can you remember? And I've just put that in. If you notice, that's quite thick, all right, because we need it to hold structure. And I thought we'd quickly whip this up together while our crab cakes are set in. So just stick them onto your plate or your tray or whatever you use. Because when you pick this up, because the bottoms are shiny, look, they'll move. And we don't want to lose the cake. No. Imagine that. How would you explain that to your guests? Sorry, your cake's on the lawn.
Or on your lap.
So, literally, we're going to put loads of fresh cream in this. All right.
Now, Marion, just a simple question.
Yeah. I like those.
All that cream you're putting onto that biscuit,
yeah,
isn't it going to make the biscuit go a little bit soggy?
Yeah, and that's why I'm doing it, Elaine, because do you like lemon and ginger together?
Very much.
Right, well, we're going to put a little bit of lemon. There's lemon juice in these biscuits, really nice. We're going to put the fresh cream in. Now, you could, if you wanted to, put lemon juice in your fresh cream, but I don't particularly like it myself. So, there we are. Loads of this. And then in a minute, we're going to dust these with icing sugar.
Not many calories.
Oh no, it's calorie free. Totally. You can see that, can't you? There we are. Look at that. Give it a little squidge down. And then these two on top.
Leave one for the poor baker, shall we?
All right then. I know you. You want that with your tea in a minute. Now, look at that. It's looking good already. Look at that. And it's quite solid, look. Yeah? So that's good.
So where's the fruit going?
Well, I was going to put a little bit of cream on top, in case we haven't got enough. Right, Elaine, we've got the icing sugar.
Got a bit of cinnamon as well, do you think that might be
quite
nice?
Well, what I usually do, Elaine, is I'll mix the icing sugar and the cinnamon together and then dust it over. And it just, although, because it's a bit white already, it's just a mixture of the tones. There we are. And then just dredge that across the top. Look at that.
That's good, isn't it? Wow.
What do you think? A bit more cinnamon.
I think that looks good.
Right, okay. Done. Job done, look. Easy peasy pudding. You can put berries, any fruit